Okay. Okay, wow. This is crisp. It is clear. I don't exactly like the angle per se, but it's better than it was on top of my computer. So we are talking about a lot of stuff. I mean, I didn't do a live stream last night because Sisters was, let's be honest, rather lackluster. So we can talk about Zatima, and I did watch Papa's House. No, I didn't watch Beauty in the Black. I did watch like a few minutes, but that's the kind of show that's a bit too graphic for me. For me, okay. So if you watched it and loved it, happy for you, but it's just not my cup of tea. So, and yes, don't judge. I am wearing a Christmas sweater. Um, it's a sloth with skis. Long story short, it is 48 degrees. I didn't feel like cutting the heat on hotter than it needs to be. So my nephew passed out, and I'm like, well, I was in my room because I've actually been cleaning um, the kitchen today. We moved the dining room table so I can vacuum the rug in the kitchen, cleaned off the stove. All I need to do is wash the dishes because I might actually cook tomorrow. Yeah. So I was in my room, which is aside from the office, which is not as bad as it was. My bedroom is like the messy place right now. I need to straighten it up. And lo and behold, when I was looking for a t-shirt to wear for the live stream, I came across this sweater. I bought this like 3 years ago. Thankfully, I'm within the same weight range, so I'm able to fit this in. It feels pretty good. It is roomy. I think, yeah. So I'm warm, content, and here we go. But we got about 50 people on here. Hopefully, notifications go out. I know I did a live stream a few minutes earlier, but I actually had the wrong webcam on. So my other webcam is right here instead of on top of the computer, which honestly, I think looks pretty good. Not to mention my face does not look as big as it is when it's on top. I don't know what's up with that angle, but this looks more normal. Like, oh, this is how I see myself in the mirror on the side of the door. You're not going to give Beauty in Black a chance at least. I might actually try to finish an episode. I gave it like 10 minutes on there. So, but like I said, it was giving me all the Queen's Men's vibes when I first saw the trailer. So, but yeah, Papa's House, I like that. It was okay. It was like 20-ish minutes long. Yeah, about 21 minutes. So it's like if you're watching an episode of House of Pain or something like that. So I think it has potential. So just be sure to support Black content because, um, of course, long story short, I took like a 2 hour nap yesterday in the late afternoon, and I woke up around, yeah, it was like from 4 to 6, and I knew my sleeping pattern was going to get messed up. So I watched Sisters, and I stayed up until 4 a.m. So that's why I was live tweeting about Zatima. I actually watched the episodes at 3 o'clock, and they were good. They'll get their reviews. It's just that then I passed out at 4 a.m. and I woke up at 1:30 p.m. It was a nice day outside because I have a long list of videos I need to do. So I actually went outside for like a good hour and just walked because it was a nice fall day. It was like 72, a little bit of a breeze in the air. Just going around the property, just getting a good walk in. And then I recorded the trailer breakdown for Sisters next week. And that was it. That was it. I had other things. So I had cleaning to do. Nephew and I played video games about 40 minutes, ate some dinner. And then I figured if I do a live stream tonight, then I'll just do my reviews tomorrow. But I'm probably going to be up for quite a while. So I'll start reviewing, doing all the videos I need to do because I got a long list. I have no idea where Maurice is, but in my opinion, he would not have added anything to the episode. I honestly am concerned about the future of Sisters. I don't think it's going to like get canceled or anything by the end of this season. I wholeheartedly believe Sisters is going to get like maybe 10 seasons, maybe 10 seasons. But when I think about how Twitter is not twittering like it used to, I did do a Instagram live stream last night. I did an Instagram live for the first time in months, but it's one of those things where there's not a lot of traction. Oh, sorry, back needed to pop. He hasn't been missed at all. That's what I'm saying. He would have added nothing, and that's no shade to Brian. Like, hey, continue to do the show, get your checks, but he wouldn't have added anything because these freaking 2 weeks have just been bad. I give episode. I know a lot of people crapped on episode 1 last week, but personally, I enjoyed it because I forgot about season 7, and I mentally forgot about what I already know about season 8. I looked at season 7 or season 8, episode 1 for what it was. A pretty dang good episode in terms of the interrogations because at least it felt like something was happening. The only stain on the episode was Andy still refusing to tell the truth about why she went back to Gary. Yeah, I think Sisters definitely should have remained on hiatus a bit longer. But and we'll get to Zatima. And for somebody who asked earlier, deal with Monster. Yes, Zatima, you'll get your reviews. Trust and believe you'll get them. But I just figured that, I just need to get outside because I've been going outside and walking every day. But it's just one of those things where I know my workload is going to be a lot. And I had cleaning to do today because I might actually cook tomorrow, like maybe chicken and cabbage, macaroni, things like that. Because what it's 10 now. After this live stream, get a water or something, then start recording. Then I'll go ahead and start posting tomorrow. I won't post like 20 things at once. I'll probably post the Sisters, Zatima, and Poppa's House reviews. Actually, I did record the Poppa's House review. I don't know if I'll post it on this channel or if I should do it on my backup channel because I need to get my backup channel, up and running again because I love having 2 YouTube, deposits in my bank account. So that's pretty good. Look, I will get to Andy, and good Lord. First of all, I'll talk about the 3 things I liked about Sisters. Okay. Trust me, we will not spend a lot of time on Sisters because there isn't much to talk about. Andy and Robin scenes were great just because I missed the chemistry between these two. And it is kind of it's a shame how they only spent like a couple of minutes on screen together. Well, and mainly the ones at the penthouse, not counting the interrogation room, but the chemistry between Austin and KJ as actors. Why is Jordan even a thing? It's just like, wow. I don't know. We'll see if the reviews do well. What was that other show I did a review for on it was on TV1. I forgot the name of it, but I remember doing like a video of the first couple episodes, then I stopped. But I don't know, Poppa's House. But it depends because you got to look at it from my perspective. But then again, I do review House to Pain week to week, but at least I know the long running context story of that show. I don't know if the Poppa's House review does decent, I might do it week to week. We'll see. Because unlike shows like the Upshaws, they're not or Miss Pat, they're not dropping every episode at one time. I'm not gonna lie, I want to say, yeah, Robin, get back together, forget about Jordan. Andy is trifling, she should check on Gary. Not just because of the whole, oh, that's my fiance, but what Robin said was right. Do you not know? See, this just goes back to her garden tool mentality. Like, do you not understand that you are no doubt being watched? And on top of that, it's not a good look for you to have your fiance stabbed and in the hospital, and then you are seen going to the house of your ex. That's not going to look good. And it's just baffling to me how Andy is written to be so dang dumb, because I don't understand. I get that she's not a criminal attorney, but some things are just, I feel like R. Kelly's like, use your common sense. It's just not adding up. It's just not adding up. I need to actually share the link to this live stream. My bad. Yeah, because I forgot all about that. I was, just trying to get the technical side together. I forgot to share this live stream around. Go ahead and type in your comments. I'll get to them as soon as I finish up. I need to get back into doing Twitter Spaces too. I'm pretty sure they're working on. I know Priscilla posted on Instagram. I think that it was in the process of filming season 7 of The Oval, so it's coming. Oh yeah, I did see the episode synopsis for Sistas episode 5 and 6. I will do videos on them, of course. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. Man, am I the only one over the whole Hayden and Tamara storyline? Preston and Bryce share the same chemistry. Could you explain that? Yeah, I've been saying that for weeks. I said I know that the first half of season 8 is going to be the Who Shot Gary thing. That's the first season. But what's getting me is that this episode was poorly paced, and I understand. I'm not a stranger to the fact that these shows will have filler episodes, or at the very least setup episodes. But to have an episode this stale early, this is episode 2, people. This isn't like episode 6 or something like that. This is episode 2. A lot of people weren't rocking with episode 1, so to have an episode this bad right out the gate, I don't think ratings are going to go up much higher. I mean, last week was a 8.8, which is not bad, but I don't think this episode is going to do anything better. Now, you could argue that the Robin cliffhanger from episode 1 might bring in new people, but I don't know. But yeah, for Andy to be that dumb. Okay, so if you watch my trailer breakdown, you know about my rant in regards to the fact that Andy is going to most likely tell the girls about the whole situation involving the blackmail and the ultimatum from Gary, yet she's not telling the man who's planning to represent her in court. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because what she told Fatima last season and she told Marie last season, but she didn't tell Penelope and she didn't tell Watt prior to the stabbing, so that wouldn't be used against her as a motivation. It just makes no sense. Honestly, and look, I know Zatima, and we're about to switch gears to Zatima in just a moment here, but that's the thing about Sistas season, well, mainly the back portion of season 7 and what we're going into now with season 8, along with Zatima season 3. A lot of the drama is forced drama and tension because these characters are doing stupid things. That was a weird continuity error. Okay, here's the thing. I would not be surprised if Karen did get a grant, but she still needed money for like the actual equipment and stuff. So I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell. You are correct though, Andy. This was early season 1 lore that Andy put up the money for Karen to get the salon. And after the fire in season 6, Karen mentioned that she had just finished paying Andy back for the money when she first got started with the salon. Then Andy cut her another check in order to refurbish and fix up her old one. So, oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday. That's pretty much how that's going down. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that. I don't know or recall if Zach touched her stomach. I was so bored with the episode, I just didn't care. Dang. Yeah, it is a shame to have all these writers. I mean, remember, there's Jamie is the head writer, yet this episode was trash. It was trash. I mean, it's bad when an episode is so bad or no, actually, I think a boring episode is worse than a bad episode, because at least with a bad episode, I can hop on the live and we'll have something to talk about. But when an episode is just boring and it does little to push the plot along, it's like I tweeted out earlier today. Wait a minute. All these people are taking their sweet time. Okay, because I understand, like, the police interrogation happened in the morning. So these people are either heading into work a little bit late or maybe in the second half of the day, but it's still morning. It definitely is still morning, because like Fatima, and Hayden and them, they hadn't even made it to the law firm yet. And Hayden wasn't even interrogated. So it must be super early. I mean, at that point, I would have just called out from work and been like, hey, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. That's pretty much what I would have done. But how did all them girls have enough time to? Well, Karen makes sense, but then again, she did talk about. Oh, she did tell Pam she had an errand to run, so Karen is the exemption. But why did Karen, Danny, and Sabrina go over to the penthouse before work? I understand checking on their girl, but if it was their lunch break or something, I get that. But it's just dumb. Like, it's just all forced. It's like two episodes in a row where Andy is about to tell the truth, but then oh shocker, somebody walks in. Rich was doing too much flirting with Sabrina. I'm not going to fault him for that, because Novi Brown is incredibly beautiful, and I would let her know that every moment if I were her man. So I'm not mad at Rich, but I do like the theory that some people had during my live last night regarding Rich going to the clinic, but maybe he's infertile or something. I don't know. So it would be pretty wild if he is unable to have kids with Sabrina due to, I don't know, his own physical nature. He did touch her stomach, but not like how he has on Zatima. Okay, nice catch, because I just didn't care. I'm sorry. I expected more out of Sisters. Do you think filming a whole season too? Actually, Novi confirmed that season 8 was filmed in like 9 days. They filmed this season in 9 days, and it shows. The new writers are scapegoats with the dragging and boredom that was always Tyler Perry's MO. So now we are to believe that the new writers replicate his style. No way. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's all bad, and it sucks. I mean, it's like I've said many times before. With the show doing what it is now, it does not need to. Well, honestly, it's been doing this since season 1. It does not need to be 40 something minutes. They could easily cut it down to like 20 and we'd be good. Because do we really need to go back and forth to like Danny and Sabrina's place like 3 times? And I think Tony was kind of in the right here. And look, don't get me wrong, Danny's therapeutic journey is Danny's therapeutic journey, but I understand him not wanting to be Danny's form of escapism, because he has every right to worry about his woman. Like, hey, everything that's been going down with Andy and the interrogation and stabbing, I just want to check in with you to make sure you're okay. But I think that Tony definitely called her out in a loving way, because I get, Danny wanting to be distracted, but that she's basically regressing to her old ways with either the sarcasm or wanting sex or wanting to smoke her pen, as opposed to dealing with what she just went through. So I think that's an interesting way to compare the Tony and Danny dynamic and the Rich and Sabrina dynamic, where Danny doesn't want the support. She just wants sex. And then on the flip side, Sabrina is embracing the support, but she can't have sex because of the 2-week thing. And also, I side with Rich. I mean, when you look at it from his perspective, Andy is the enemy. I mean, she broke her, his boy's heart, got back with Gary, then the stabbing happened, and now his woman is distressed. Well, not just his woman, but all, everybody involved is depressed. So I mean, when you look at it from that perspective, but then I think about it from the perspective of let's look at what Sabrina does. Whenever someone says something about her friends that she doesn't like, she curbs them. So I think Rich has every right to feel the way he felt in that moment, just like Tony had every right to be like, hey, you're my woman. It's like, I care about you. Like, everything that happened is a lot. So I just want to check in with you. Because to me, Danny, that's just one of those prime examples of, men only want women for sex. But when you got a man who actually wants to be there for you emotionally, not just physically, you shut it down. So I don't know. I like Tony for Danny. I like Preston, but he gave her too much leeway. Tony puts his foot down. That's pretty much it. It's like Preston, hey, what if the new Jordan and old Jordan start fighting? Nah. Nah, look, I call it like I see it. And even if Tyler did come back, would it really be better? I seriously want to know how that conversation went. Like, hey, I'm handing y'all the keys, so do a good job, but not too good. Because it is a shame because some of these writers, I've watched their other work, and it's 10 times better than what they're doing now. The new Jordan might get killed off. Honestly, would not care. But this episode, well, my bad. I'm sorry about this. We're talking about the sisters. Zatima. Can we get to Zatima, please? Let's talk about Zatima. I am conflicted with how I feel about these episodes. Man, I don't know. DeVal's acting was on point. Like, this man, when he's portraying an emotion, you believe it. But I just feel like I don't know if I like how he's being depicted. On the one hand, I see how he got to the point that he's at, but at the same time, it is kind of dumb that it almost feels. I think the key scene for me was when he was talking to Tyrone in the barbershop. Oh, trust and believe, I enjoyed the episodes way more than Sisters. Let me just make that clear. Let me just make that clear. But it sucks because, like Tony said, you got way too much to lose. But on the other hand, I was giving everybody the side eye. Because I know a lot of people talk about, hey, that scene between Connie and Fatima in the car was great. On the one hand, I looked at that scene and I'm like, dang, this is definitely the conversation and the coolness that could have happened between Fatima and Karen had Karen let go of her bitterness and rage. Is that Connie has an understanding of what Fatima brings to the table, and that Zach is a better man because of Fatima, as opposed to Karen, who refuses to see and accept that Zach has changed, but not because or for her. It was due to Fatima. But on the other hand, it goes back to what I said after week 1. I blame Connie for all of this. This is all her fault. Now, don't get me wrong, Fatima and everybody else lying to Zach, that expanded on the situation, but Connie was the one that got this crap started in the first place. And I don't care if her and Fatima are besties. I still don't like her. No shade to the actress. But I mean, in terms of the character, I still don't like her. Still don't like her. Then Fatima talking about how, what was it that I think Connie said at first something about Zach has a lot of growing to do, and then Fatima's like, yeah, he has a lot of stuff to do. And I'm thinking, like, why is it always Zach that has to do something? Fatima failing to recognize the role she played in this. Don't get me wrong, she was the victim, but she kept this crap going. Not too much on Fatima now. No, I'm not letting up. I'm not letting up. And I know I caught some heat on this on Twitter, but I don't think Belinda deserved to have her place torn up. Yes, she is messy, but I'm looking at it from the perspective of a person. It's like, regardless as to how I feel about her as a character, I'm talking about the current circumstance. Yes, she did. She told Unlike everybody else, she told Zach where Jeremiah was. Did she have to do that? No. But at the same time, you would think she would be exempt from the everybody's lying to Zach list or nobody's trying to help Zach list. But when I look at the conversation about Tyrone, it just, Zach doesn't even sound like he's convincing himself that he's not doing this for himself. It's like, this is all I know. And I'm like, come on now. Come on, dog. Come on, man. But on the flip side, with Tony and Nathan and Tyrone, look, the excuse of, hey, you know your brother got a problem, that don't mean a dang thing. He put hands on his woman. And when you look at the end of the episode, when apparently Jeremiah was firing rounds at his own brother, that's some bull. Call the cops on his butt and get him locked up. Did Delinda say her grandmother gave her that base? I think it was her mom. She was being messy, though. I don't care what the motive is, but I wouldn't have invited him. Yeah, okay. I blame Nate for that, but also Belinda should have put her foot down. I don't care what Nate is. Okay, Nate made me mad too because I was rocking with him last week. I'm like, okay, good. You told Zach, and I did like that bar. Hey, Fatima, I told him the facts. You tell him the truth. I was like, right on, brother. But then as soon as he said, we taking him back to your house. First of all, Nate, that ain't your house. You just couch surfing because you cheated on your wife. That's the first thing. Oh, no, I wouldn't have told Zach to come to my house. I wouldn't have brought Jeremiah's behind there either. She don't know him like that. She knows he a crackhead. It's like, well, he's an addict. Same freaking difference. I don't care. She don't know him like that. I mean, and another thing, I would have been like, wait a minute. Jeremiah pushed up on my girl, even though Fatima isn't rocking with Belinda. Jeremiah pushed up on my girl and hurt her. How do we know he won't try to hurt me? That's another thing. She wanted to be involved. I don't know. Had Belinda not wanted to be in anything, her place when they got messed up. Again, I don't think, just like to this day, I still remember the heat I caught for saying Fatima was definitely in the wrong for taking that baseball bat because she assumed that Hayden was the one responsible for Zach getting arrested when actually it was Heather with the child support stuff. Remember what? Tore up his car, chased him into his home, destroyed the TV, his glass living room table, threw his father's urn to his dad or his grandfather's urn to the ground, threatened to beat the crap out of Gary and Hayden with the bat. And I'm like, she deserves to get arrested. I know at that point in time of the show, I was rocking with Fatima, but I wasn't afraid to call her out. Same goes for Karen, Zach, Andy, whoever else. You all know I'm a simp for certain characters, whether it be Jasmine or Tamara, and I have my favorite characters like Zach. But at the same time, I do my analysis from a non-biased place. When there's a character who I love and I don't rock with what they're doing, I'm going to call them out for it. When there's a character I dislike, I want to mention the things I do like about them when they do something right or when I agree with them. So that's something some people just don't want to understand. They look for any reason to try to say like, oh, you hate women or black women, or, you know, you always side with Zach and talk down about Fatima. And it's like, I think Zach went too far. I can understand why he blew up the way he did, but at the same time, I don't know. But can we talk about the way this fool pulled a Jazz from the Fresh Prince? I could have sworn Jeremiah was Uncle Phil and threw him out. Ah! Get down, Fatima. That was crazy. That ending threw me off. I was done. I'm like, even though these episodes were a bit repetitive, that one scene at the end saved it for me. I was like, I was done when I had to rewind it like 8 times. I was laughing so hard. It was like 3:50 a.m. when I finished that episode. I was done. I was just, man. Ah! Because if one thing Zach Taylor is going to do, it's going to tear up somebody's shit. If it's Karen's apartment, if it's his own place when he's mad, and or a restaurant when he's fighting with Aaron, or now Belinda's place. Well, it's like I said on Twitter, maybe I hold some sort of sentimental value or sympathy because, I just got this house. So imagine my sister got into some crap and then somebody came over and messed up my stuff. No, it's somebody going to die. Somebody either going to get their skull cracked or something like, no, you ain't going to come up in my house doing that crap. That's just Zach. He still responds as a child. Yeah, I will admit. I mean, like, bro, did he had to pull an Incredible Hulk and kick the door open? That was just messed up. Hey, same thing as Zatima. Even though Karen left the door cracked open, she rolled up into the apartment like she owned the place. I didn't rock with her on that. Now, could Zach have knocked on the door calmly? Absolutely. But for him to do what he did, no. But none of the characters made it any better. They really didn't. But at this point, it's like, honestly, I don't know whose side I take. Is that the point of the writing this season where it's like, well, who's right, who's wrong? I can see why everybody's doing what they're doing, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Tyrone is one of my favorites, but Belinda invited him over. There's a difference. I don't give if I called, I don't know, a friend. Okay, what is it? It's 10. Okay, let's pretend it's the middle of the day. Let's say it's 2 p.m. Hey, man, I'm back in town. I got my own place. You want to swing by and catch up for old time's sake? I invite my friend over. I'm chilling in my living room. Does that give my friend the right to like kick my door open and just come in? No. You knock like you got some sense. Why was Andy crying after what Gary did? I'm glad that Watt called it out, your fake crocodile tears. I'm like, no, the fake crocodile tears were when she was outside of the salon. It's weird. Kicking in the doorway, saying Zach don't hurt her no more. Oh, can we talk about Angela? The way she scurried across the room behind Nate. I was laughing because I felt kind of bad for her a little bit. Last week, Fatima was like, hey, girl, Zach's going to the hood to find his brother, and everybody's going down there. Angela's like, hey, girl, you need me to come? Angela, if you come down there and something pops off, what are you going to do? Good point. If I were Angela, I would have said the same thing this week. Wait, Zach is going to Belinda's and everybody, because Jeremiah's there. What am I going to do? I would have been, if I were in Angela's position like Fatima. Girl, I'm sorry you're going through this, but what do you expect me to do? Because her boy toys in the kitchen making some food, I would have been like, hey, I want to be here, Sean. Like, go figure things out. Like, what am I bringing to the table? What is my presence going to solve? I ain't gonna lie. And I'm not trying to be anti-Fatima or pro-Belinda, but if you come into my house, you're not going to give me the cold shoulder. Like if my sister came in here or came to my house with somebody that I don't really rock with, or let's say they don't rock with me for whatever reason, you ain't going to give me like the stank eye and not acknowledge my presence and then expect to come up in my home. Hell no. So, and I'm not saying Fatima has no right to be mad at Belinda. I'm just saying. And then she's like, just stay here. This ain't your house. But again, what do I know? Angela was there for support. Support for what? She almost got toe up. Zach over there flipped. Angela got some sides to her, but dang it, Zach probably would have flipped her too if she would have spoke up. I know she was looking like, I should have stayed at home with Sean. Like, what am I even doing here? Can we go back to Sistas? BET Plus is too rough for me. Oh, man, I'm sorry. You're right. She saw that rage at the restaurant when he was fighting Aaron. Very good observation. I was on my laptop more than the show. Yeah, it was boring. That's why I didn't even bother doing a live stream last night. It was just nothing to talk about. You know I'm right about Angela. Jordan at the end of what? Sistas? No, it was Robin. But yeah, these episodes really, it was just same thing. Finding Jeremiah. Also, I think the Bryce and Preston scenes were a bit boring, but I do feel for Preston because dude barely spent 3 minutes with Bryce and he's already annoyed by him, which says a lot. Then when he got that drink, okay, so a lot of people are trying to figure this out, me too, but was Bryce coming out of Zach and Fatima's house? Initially, I thought, wait, did he just come out of Deja's place? But I don't know. I don't know. I ordered DoorDash. Yeah. Because it just felt like filler scenes to break up the search for Jeremiah. And to be honest, we were just rehashing what went down last week with Preston telling Deja to stop doing too much. So, yeah. It was Big Repo who pulled out the gun. Who's Big Repo? That Belinda's so messy. She's always pushing stuff and the heat is hot when she goes to call the police. Would you have not done the same thing? If somebody over here tearing up my shit and there's a bunch of people, nobody's trying to stop them, I'm calling the cops. And then Fatima's like, oh, B, you going to call the cops? Fatima, that's what your ass should have done in episode 2. Jeremiah would have got taken away and we wouldn't be in this trouble. Again, I'm not trying to be anti-Fatima or pro-Belinda, but I'm just telling my thoughts. That's another reason why I haven't done my reviews yet. It's very difficult for me to communicate how I feel about these episodes. Preston might get thirsty and go out to Deja. I honestly feel like he sees the, wholesome girl in her, but she definitely is doing too much. Isn't that saying where it's like if you don't give a girl attention, then they just want you even more or something like that? I don't know. I think Jeremiah pulled out the gun because he felt threatened for his life, so I kind of understand it. I mean, on the one hand, I suppose, but either way, if somebody pulls a gun on me, that's it. We're done. Marvel reference here. If you look at Captain America Civil War, this is a key moment. I remember when Marvel was really good. At the end of Captain America Civil War, after Tony he blasted off Bucky's arm and then Cap got the better of him and he took the shield to like mess up, his suit, and then he tore up the helmet and Tony thought Steve was going to like chop his head off, but he actually went for the arc reactor. The way Tony looked at Cap after that was never the same because in that moment, he thought Steve was going to take his life. I think the same thing applies here. It's like, even though Jeremiah could hear everything going on and understand his brother was for blood, the fact that Jeremiah shot rounds at his own brother, we're done. No, we're done. It was Big Repo to go. Who is Big Repo? Belinda wanted to call the police, so go to jail. She did not want Fatima to have Zach. I mean, you could argue that, but still, I don't know. I don't know. What? She must still love Gary. I have no idea why she was crying. Deja feel forced this season. I don't know. I mean, I'd much rather, even if it's repetitive, I'd much rather see Deja and Preston scenes than Preston and Bryce scenes. I've rocked with Angela all of Sistas season 7. And so far, all of Zatima season 3. But why did she tell Bryce, hey, go over to Zach's house. Tell him you're sorry in person. Wear him down. Bryce gets on my nerves. Hey, we're just friends. No, the moment you feel like you are hurt by Angela or she betrayed you or whatever, you're going to go off again. My ratings are actually pinned to the top of this chat. You'll see the scores. I think on my end, it's like in a white box. You'll see my username and then all the scores. Bryce. Yeah, Bryce is irritating. I don't know what they're trying to do with the character. Angela was cool these episodes, except for the Bryce part. The fact that, I mean, on the one hand, you could argue maybe she was just trying to get rid of him so she can have her boy come over. But I think that trying to initiate, because Bryce rightfully called out, Zach really didn't come to see me. Fatima made him come. Fatima doesn't make him do anything. Angela. And then the fact that, she told Bryce to go over. Angela needs to learn some boundaries because she always pops over to somebody's house without permission. I remember back in season 1. Well, Fatima, I'm coming over there. No, you ain't. Paul is gone. Thoughts on episode 7? I think it was a bit repetitive. There were some. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not really liking the repetitive storylines. They're just being stretched out for no reason. So far, season 3 is not my favorite season. Season 2 and 1 are very good. Season 3, to be honest, even after this entire season comes out, I don't think I'm rocking with it like the other two. She said everything to be fair, not anything. Tyler Perry messed up when he replaced the first friend that was married. Jack, was that his name? Jack? I think Tyler has an upcoming movie. He has a bunch of movies coming out. The Destination Wedding, College Road Trip, 6888, Sisters in Italy, and several others. The R&B. So honestly, I think Tyler's more focused in the movie realm than he is in the television realm. Because regardless of how we feel about the shows, he's built all these series, and now it's kind of time to hand them over to other people. Jake, thank you, Jake. Yeah, he is on that show. I always see ads about it. What's the story, Wishbone? I think somebody said it earlier, but I honestly don't know how Zach and Fatima are being portrayed in Sisters, because in the trailer for next week, I'm actually rooting for Hayden to make Fatima's life a living hell. She literally, somebody's getting fired. Slap. I'm your boss now. What? Yeah. Then Zach's a stay-at-home dad. I'm like, so what's up with you and Rise Ventures? What's going on with that? So did him and Bryce quit the business together? I don't know. He is coming from, you think Gary is alive? They literally said it. Fatima said, I saw a report on my phone that Gary's still alive. Well, he's recovering. Yeah, episode 11 that got leaked last week. That's the conversation that needs to be had. But Zach should just know better, He should just know better. How would you feel if you saw Madea at Walmart? I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know. Pull the plug. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to be honest here. I honestly could not tell you how I would react if I ever met Tyler Perry. Based on like what DeVal has said in interviews and whatnot, dude is like really tall. So I'd probably be like, whoa, he's really tall. But I honestly couldn't tell you. I'm blessed that a lot of the cast members from these various shows, interact with me. So some of them, I don't even know if I would be starstruck, more like a, hey, that kind of thing, because we talk so frequently. Sisters hasn't called. I'm not even going to think about timelines. Okay. I'm not even going to try to, you think Robin is putting Hayden as, I said that in one of my videos. Yeah. I think that, Robin isn't just handing over the caseload to Hayden just because. There's a method to his madness. So I am glad they clarified it. So yeah, apparently Robin wasn't booted from the company completely. He still owns it. It's just that he got the boot from the Atlanta law firm, but he's still the overseer of everything else. So that kind of explains it. 5'11". I'm 5'7", so yeah, I'm 4 inches shorter than DeVal. So yeah, if DeVal says top, hang on, let me just Google it. How tall is Tyler Perry? Six five. That's 10 inches taller than me. But then again, DeVal did say he was in the full Madea get up, so maybe that Madea doesn't really wear heels. The dude is tall, okay? He's 6'6". Okay, I was just looking at Google, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Fatima better not lose her baby. Oh yeah, didn't they have that picture they released where she's kind of like she's grabbing her stomach? That wasn't in the episode. I was looking for that. Because honestly, I didn't expect the gun going off. I thought like the episode might have ended with the stress getting to Fatima, and then she would have to be rushed to the hospital. No, DeVal is 5'9". Oh. Hayden's such a simp. I'm sorry, but if Tamara did to me what she did to Hayden, Plus, wasn't he about to leave the state or Atlanta, and then all of a sudden he just randomly went to work? So did he just not call in before saying, hey, I'm quitting my job? So that's the thing. These characters are all doing weird stuff. Hayden's getting ready to flee the city. Oh, I'm going to work now. The girls are all getting ready to go to work, but then they just go over to Andy. So it's not adding up. Where did Jeremiah get a gun from? That is a good question. Initially, I'm thinking he grabbed it from Belinda's house somewhere, but some people theorized he had it on him because he stole it from Fatima's purse. 6'5", good Lord. Thank you. I could not figure out who Belinda called after she had called Zach. I don't know. I had a question mark in my notes about that. DeVal is 5'10" and 200 as according to what he said in interviews. Okay. Tamaro's looking good. The long hair, the green dress. Still wearing clear heels, though. 5'8". Way to brag. You're 1 inch taller. You saw that video where TP claps back at critics giving out negative reviews of him putting out the same exact content. If this is in reference to the interview he did after Divorce in the Black, then yes, I am pretty certain I did a video on that. Honestly, I don't. It is what it is. Not to mention, she's the one who kept saying, I came down here voluntarily of my own free will. The plot makes no sense. I went to the doctor's appointment, say I weigh 200 pounds. Oh, is that like a future weight thing? I'm trying to get down to 220. That's my ideal weight. Hang on. I have 32 pounds to go, and then I'm at my weight that I want to be at. But I can still wear 2X and whatnot. It's just that if I can get down to 220, it's just, I don't know, kind of a goal. Nothing big. Like I do have the treadmill I got from Walmart Plus last week, but I cleaned the kitchen today. Hopefully I can get my living room straightened out. Then I can figure out where to put it. Okay, she called Karen. Yeah, right. How is Andy? I went to, no. I read that comment. Hayden did it. Nope, he didn't do it. Too obvious. Trying to get down to 170. Right. Good stuff. But the holidays are coming up. That's another reason I'm glad I got that treadmill. So if it does get too cold outside for me to walk, I can just do about 30 minutes on the treadmill or longer. I'm surprised Tamara didn't spit on Hayden. I mean, she tried to slap him. I don't know. Michael was briefly in season 1 as Zatima, and that was it. I hate Gary and Maurice play too much. Tamara's for the streets. Yeah, I mean, she's playing house with Hayden because she really has nowhere else to go. Well, nobody with the money he does. Like, he's not rich, but she's definitely living better with Hayden than any of her other boy toys, that's for sure. Oh yeah, I've been seeing Steve Harvey post. Apparently, he's still like talking about the Cat Williams thing. Let it go, just bro. We're about to go into 2025. Oh, this is new. Tyler Perry endorses Kamala Harris at the Atlanta rally. Okay. Okay, yeah, somebody sent me a message. I think that's what made it funnier that Zach was talking so much shit and tearing up the house, but the moment the gun came out, he just dove off the stairs. Yeah, they didn't. Well, yeah, they didn't investigate Hayden or Penelope. Don't worry, I'm just checking my messages. Oh yeah, and if you watch my trailer breakdown for next week, then you know that honestly, the trailer doesn't even look that enticing for Sisters next week. I'm kind of like meh. Honestly, I think it's either Jasmine or Penelope or Tamara. I don't know. I feel like I've talked this subject to death. I mean, I think at this point they're trying to make it where anybody can be a suspect, which is compelling, but nobody really cares right now. They're just dragging it out because Gary is not going to wake up for a while. Because if Gary wakes up, he can just say, hey, this is the person that stabbed me." Oh, man. It would be nice to actually be able to sleep for a few hours. Sunday is a big day because it is church, but also the church anniversary at 3 o'clock. I don't know if I'm going. I'm not going to both. I know that much. I got too much to do. And yes, I know church is right there, but it's a black church. You know we stay forever. Did I ask to sing in the choir, trying to reunite the choir? Like, bro, ain't nobody in the choir left. Everybody's gone on. It's like the youth choir. I'm 33. Ain't no kids left. I'm one of the youngest members. That tells you right there, because everybody else has moved on. What would you be a reason why they put both shows on together? Ratings. Karen just needs to get somewhere and sit down. She was sitting for most of this episode. There needs to be show Little Michael and Zatima. Yeah. Hudson. Yeah, why did I get married again? No, season 6 is coming, I believe, next year. Oh man. Yeah, that is a good question. Like, did the person that Bryce ran his car into, are they okay? I don't know. Tyler Perry needs to change the script. I say Hudson did it every chance he gets, telling folks Andy did it. So, yeah, man. I'm glad Sabrina wasn't dressed like Mr. Brown's little sister. Yeah, Sabrina's outfits have been pretty good season 7 and this season so far. Yep, I already did that video about Hudson secretly in love with Gary and possibly being the stabber. But hey, Gary technically did die during surgery, but then he was resuscitated. Yeah, I think Jasmine either stabbed him or Jasmine's going to be that person holding the needle trying to kill him. I don't think Paris is coming back. Plus, he's on the Oval guarding the president. Inside man. Yeah, he does give off that vibe. You're not wrong about that. 88. We have some people watching. Oh man. Any other questions? I'm not trying to wrap things up, but if we have nothing else to talk about, no, I don't think they'll kill Gary. I like the car scene with Connie and Fatima. I'm iffy on it due to the fact that I still don't like Connie. I don't trust her. I agree. Sabrina always does that. She's going to act like, no, he's just a friend and yada yada. Probably sometime in 2025 is when the Oval comes back. Any upcoming films you want to see? I haven't been keeping track of what movies are coming out. Heck, I watched 12 Angry Men and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington this week. I like the old, black and white films. I'm a sucker for the classics. No, I'm not. Honestly, I didn't. I'm not a big fan of the Venom films. Yep, she did say it will be someone, that will surprise everyone. Yep. You talking about that the the one with Ariana Grande? I don't. Nah. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Bryce. Yo, that would be wild though if they did that as a way to combine the shows, like Bryce stabbing Gary because he's mad about ruining the finances. That would be pretty wild. Oh, yeah. Notebook. Ethan. Oh yeah, the guy who's undercover as Jordan's campaign dude. Belinda Messi acting like she didn't do anything. Yeah, she did lie about it until Zach called her out for it. Angela drives me bonkers with her mess. What mess did she cause aside from the whole telling Bryce to go see Zach crap? I think she was relatively calm. Nah, I don't think it'll get her pregnant. Um, yeah, I said that. I'm like, she's probably gonna break up with Rich. I don't like how you talking about my friend. Yada yada yada. Honestly, the fact that Zendaya is still in the film makes me mad because Peter Parker. The thing about Spider-Man Peter Parker, dude has a rogues gallery and a lot of women too. He's like Marvel's Dick Grayson Nightwing. So I just hate that seemingly because Zendaya and Tom Holland, due to their own relationship in real life, they're making it so her MJ is the main girl for Spidey in the MCU, and I don't like that because he needs to have other love interests. So I'm not, and plus with Marvel films, I'm never excited because they always cancel crap or delays. They just canceled the Blade movie, so I don't know. Well, the thing is, I think it's due to the fact that I want. Okay, here's a good question. Here's a good question. Do you think? Sorry, it feels like something's on my lip. I don't know. I'm not even eating anything. Yeah. Oh, it's just a hair. My bad. We know Sabrina has a knack for using men. how do we know that after she gets pregnant and or gives birth, do you think she's going to kick Rich to the curb? Because think about it now. Dang near every time she's interacted with a guy, it's usually due to her wanting something from them. But then after she's gotten what she wanted, she usually disposes of the guy for the most petty reason. With Bio, I need money to get Maurice out of jail. With Jacoby, she got that pipe. With Rich, to get pregnant. So I don't know. I don't know. I wish you wrote a season of Sisters and Zatima. I appreciate that. But the thing is, if I did, I couldn't review it. So they would have to pay me well. So I don't know. I miss my girl Jasmine and Sisters. My girl. Anyway, if they're filming a new Friday, I think I saw a post. I just scroll by it. I want to be honest here. I don't really have the same enthusiasm I used to for certain projects because of the fact that we live in a day and age where everything is about reboots and nostalgia. And a lot of times things that are promised don't get delivered upon because, oh, this producer or this director quit the film or it gets delayed. So I honestly don't care. If there's a new Friday, I'll watch it, but I'm not just sitting up here like, I can't wait till Friday 4. I don't care. It's just too many years have gone by and the thunder really isn't going to, well, the lightning won't strike, again. So, but hey, if they make it, they make it. If not, I'm not losing any sleep over it. Photostar 2028. The episode was boring. You missed absolutely nothing. I repeat, the episode was boring and you missed absolutely nothing. But I did love the fact that Karen was wearing black boots because her signature white boots would always get her dragged because it was kind of a running gag. Whenever Karen wore those white boots, she was about to start raise some hell. So the fact that she was wearing the black ones, I thought it was funny. And I love the fact that Pam brought her that food and stuff just to get some tea. I mean, it's one thing to be nosy, but the fact that she was thoughtful about it, hey, I'm not mad. Give me some McNuggets and some barbecue sauce, and I'll let you know what I'll tell you what you want to know. Tell you what you want to know. I watched part of the episode, but it's a bit too graphic for me. But that's just me. If you like it, you love it. I appreciate you. Top 5. I thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, I am very curious to see what Sisters ratings are going to. Also, Andy looked cute in her little pink outfit, the dress. I like that. She looked cute, and I like her hair. Yeah, what is it? Pink and white. I actually got the episode on mute right now. The pink and white ensemble. It's like I'm just so accustomed to the sketchy ways she used to dress at work. So it's good to see her back. Wait a minute. This brings about a good question. Now that Robin is back, will Andy kind of dress the way she used to when Robin was around? Hopefully not. Jasmine is no, she's not. She's not my girl. I'm single as a hell. So I don't. Does Nate have a job? They claim he does, but then last week Tony was like, "You need to get a job or something." Do you believe Belinda called Karen? I have no idea. I don't know who she called. Um, yeah. KFC needs to bring back hot wings. I know that's a random tangent, but they do. Any other questions? I know that's the thing. Tyrone was laying it out to him plain and simple, like, hey, Zach, if you choose option A, this is exactly what's going to happen. Zach is like, this is all I know. And I'm like, what do you mean all you know? Tyrone just told you every option you can go down. You can beat him up, kill him, and then go to jail, or you can talk it out. Even though talking it out is just a start, you need to like take his crackhead self to rehab or something, because if you ever put hands on my woman again, because I think Fatima made things worse by now. That brings about a good question. Somebody commented on my post or my video about Fatima should have just called the cops. And it's like, wait, didn't Angela call the cops? Well, here's the thing. Angela called 911. That makes me wonder, what did Fatima tell them? And also, did Fatima come to before they arrived? Because Angela was by her side the entire time. Did Angela tell them what happened? There's a lot of things that aren't adding up. So I don't know. Any other questions while I have you here? I just hope Sisters picks up the pace or something, because, oh man. Mm. Mm. Okay, well, if that's it, I guess it's time to wrap things up. Um, I know that since it's not Wednesday night, the views might not be huge on this like it would be post episode, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try to get some sleep tonight, wake up early, and get a lot of crap done. What needs to stop is people leaving their jobs for done stuff, because in the real world, unemployment. Yo, serious talk, and I'm not trying to be political, but I know some people, who have degrees and whatnot, they're having a tough time finding jobs. I mean, they're probably, trying to find jobs in specific markets, because it just seems like there are a lot of options nowadays, especially like fast food workers making way more money than they used to, but the cost of living is crazy. So yeah, to see these characters, aside from Karen, she is a business owner, but um to have like Sabrina and Dan, well, then again, Danny is dating her boss, so uh, I think Sabrina is arguably the only one in a position where she needs to make sure her, you know, job is still there. Is Preston's country ways and act? I don't know. I mean, basically, he's more intelligent in regards to business than his country demeanor would have you believe. Daddy was doing that before Tony. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but she does have some sort of like leverage now. He's my boss. Tony straight up said, "Do you need me to arrange to have somebody like take your shift or something?" So I don't know. Okay. Well, if that's all, thanks so much for tuning in, and I will catch you all later. Make sure I hit the right button here. Waiting on it to stop.